go on to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. As always, appreciate your submissions. But this caller wanted to bring up the defense and whether or not they played a part in a lot of the collapses this season.
I heard Rich Eisen tonight talk about the fact that it wasn't just the offense and Baker Mayfield who lost games last year. And I'm just kind of curious, how many times did we lead in the third quarter for our defense only to give up the winning scores in the fourth quarter to put all the pressure on the offense? I believe I watched quite a few of them myself, and I think we had the lead quite a few times going into the fourth quarter. So anyway, that's just another slant on things. I know that with the Baker Mayfield deal, God's in control. That's all we can believe, okay? Okay, good talking with you. Bye.
Okay, so we did the math. We went in. There were 9 losses this past year. How many of them were blown by the defense? 3. And that includes week 1 where Baker was still healthy. So of the 9 losses, a third of them were blown in the fourth quarter this past year. But, G. Bush, when it comes down to that, I almost feel like part of that was, the defense as a whole getting used to playing with each other because of the fact that you had so many new faces on that side of the ball.
I look at it like this, man. When you talk about Baker Mayfield, right, and we just want to get to a baseline, was the defense playing in games in which they could have played a little better and they gave up some points? Sure, right? But I also go to games where there was no chance for the Cleveland Browns to do anything. You look at the game, and I go to the specific game that we talk about all the time, the New England Patriots. I mean, Baker Mayfield threw for 71 yards, 72, 73 yards, multiple interceptions. They had no chance of winning that game. They had no chance of winning the Cardinals game. They were out of it first quarter. That was done. They had no chance. Well, actually, let's keep it real. There are games where you did have a chance to win, but just strictly on the quarterback play alone, you lost. The Green Bay Packers, 4 interceptions. You can't win. You cannot win with someone throwing 4 interceptions. And so those games are littered throughout the season. Multiple interceptions against the Lions. He missed a lot of wide open guys against the Minnesota Vikings. Here's my thing, though. And I always tell people, it's just not last year. It's just not last year. He has been doing this his whole career. Since entering the league, no one has thrown more interceptions. I mean, that's just not last year injured, right? We go back to a lot of different things, and I always tell people like this. Sometimes it's a body of work. When to me, when he said in 2019, I thought it was going to be easy in the offseason. They said, you want to work with a quarterback coach? No, I don't want to work with a quarterback coach. I don't need to. When all your contemporaries, Lamar Jackson, who has an MVP, working with a coach, Josh Allen, who was drafted after you, who leapfrogged you, they've got tremendously better. In those years where you say I took a step back, when then it was the year it was Freddie Kitchens, and then it was the year I was injured, the reality of the situation is sometimes in life, you and me, you get one mistake. You can have one mistake that changed your life forever. Mac, you a young dude. If you go out, get hammered, or I go out, get hammered, and get in a car accident, we're finished.
Yeah.
We're finished in this industry. No one's going to say, hey, man, G. Bush, I loved what he used to say. Man, he has some great story. Ain't nobody trying to hear that no more. That's the way it happens at the highest level. Sometimes the way the cars fall, you got one opportunity to make your mark in the game. Baker had 4 or 5 opportunities. He'll probably get another opportunity with another team. He just has to learn to take advantage of it and stay out the media with it. Because if he wouldn't have said certain things, and if he would have sat down and not went out there and tried to play, the reality is Baker Mayfield will still be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns today. I 100% agree. He'd be the starter. Yeah. Because he came out and said, look, hey, I'm a little hurt right now. I'm going to just take a little time off. He'd still be the starter.
And on top of that, too, you always had the reports on game day from Jay Glazer, from other different insiders. The sit down with Kurt Warner that he also had and on NFL Network. So many times where he came out and said, I'm healthy, despite having to come back out and say that I was hurt again. But yeah, I digress when it comes to that.